Okay, hello. Um, Welcome to my podcast thing. As you'll notice, we've since upgraded from me holding a not plugged in, microphone to this microphone, which, oh, is actually connected to my phone because it's not Bluetooth or wireless. We'll see what audio is better, the one from the Mac or the one from my phone. I don't know. Anyways, Um, yeah, so I guess, I don't know, nothing's really changed. Like, I guess this setting has changed. Um, because I went from being at school to being back home now. So I guess that's new. But in terms of everything else, I feel like low key, we're pretty much the same. I watched Challengers and I've watched Monkey Man, and I think those are the two most pivotal points of the year, if I'm being real. I don't know why I really wanted to come on here. I just have been itching. Have been itching to make another podcast episode. I don't know. I'm just like, hey, is this even working? I actually can't tell if this is doing anything or if the audio is simply just picking up from my phone. If I'm being so like I don't think this is actually doing anything. Oh, I guess it is, maybe. Anyways. Um Yeah, I don't know. I guess I've just been kind of going through it. I don't know. I went on vacation. Vacation. I don't know. It was low key like my first ever like actual like vacation. I went to Portugal for like a week with my mom, and while I was there, we had a rental car. And the one day out of the week that we were meant to go to Lisboa, which is Lisbon, for those of you who aren't Portuguese, um, we're gonna pretend like I didn't call it Lisbon before this trip. Anyways, um, on our day that we were supposed to go there, we were driving, and then because I was trying to get Onitsuka tigers, so we went to this one place that said they had them. They didn't fucking have them. We were on our way back. We were in a roundabout. Tell me why it's a 4-lane roundabout with lights. Does someone want to explain that to me? Because why, if it's a roundabout, are there street lights? That doesn't make sense. But there were street lights. Alas, my mom and I were the second lane. The second that light turned green, our lane hadn't even moved yet. My mom and I just like completely just like whoa, like whiplash, like get whoa, what just happened? This fucking truck hit us. Out of every car that could possibly be there, by the way, it's this fucking big ass truck that hits our rental car. What are the odds? What are the odds? Someone want to tell me that? Um, but yeah, and then my mom pulls over because she's Canadian and thinks that for some reason if she pulls over, he's gonna follow her. He didn't. He zoomed past. We didn't get anything, like any information on him. So we have to pay for the car. And by we, I mean me. So, yeah. But she's paying me back, but there's a big dent in my wallet. Just a little, just a smidge. So that happened. And then I also went to Montreal after that, which was super fun, but I really was not expecting Montreal to be so European. Because, like, obviously, I know that the French are European. I know how that works. Thank you. But, I didn't expect, like, when I went there, like, the architecture and the way that they dress and, like, everything is, like, so European. That, like, coming from Portugal to back here where I'm at right now, and then going to Montreal, I was like, oh, I feel like I'm just, like, in Europe again. Like, this is, like, not. I don't know. But one thing about Montreal, though, it's in Quebec. One thing about Quebec, their fucking provincial tax, uh, detrimental. Tell me why I went in to buy a smoothie bowl that was supposedly 14.50, which is thievery in its own right. And then I went to go pay. It was 60 or 16.80, 16.70. And then they wanted me to tip. And did I tip? Of course I tipped. $19 on a smoothie bowl. $19 on a smoothie bowl. Yeah. So that like about summarizes my entire. It's July right now, by the way. At the point of filming this, it's July 5th. That was my whole month of June, basically. So, but hey, my friend and I painted each other, and this is my portrait. Oh, whoa, whoa. So, looks pretty sick, doesn't it? It's on the wall. This is the wall. I used to have a Spider Man comic here, but it fell, and I just haven't put it back up. So, yeah. But other than that, everything's remained kind of the same. I don't know. My topic for today was kind of like I wanted to talk about how like I kind of have this like weird like love-hate relationship with myself, and like obviously I feel like a lot of people do. Okay? It's like that spiral of like not spiral, but like that circle of like oh, I hate myself. Oh, I'm a baddie. Oh, like nobody's doing it like me. Oh, die. Literally die. Oh, I hate myself. Oh, I'm a bad like you know what I mean? It just keeps going in that circle. And for me, like obviously it does go in that circle, but I think that a lot of it comes from like I don't know. When I tell people I don't like I say this a lot to people and I don't really think they get what I mean, but I really don't like the fact like it unsettles me that other people are able to perceive me. And I don't mean this in like they're perceiving me in a negative light or whatever. Like they could be perceiving me in a positive light and I still don't like that. Like I just don't like that people can have conscious thoughts about me that I can't control. Which could be like controlling or just like hyper aware of my surroundings or whatever the fuck, but it's annoying. Like it really is. It's super annoying. And like I brought this up at work one time and these people were just like, well, just don't care. Like, just don't care what they think. Like, it's gonna happen anyways. Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, you don't have to. Why are you being so. Like, you don't have to be. They call me insecure. And I was like, whoa. Listen, also, if I was insecure, what about it, freak? Do you wanna fight? That's what I thought. Like, it doesn't. It wouldn't matter. But I just, like, I don't take this as, like, insecurity. I just, like, don't. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't. Okay? Because in my mind, it makes perfect sense. Because I'm like, yeah, I just don't want to be perceived. I don't want people to have conscious thoughts or opinions about me, whether they're like, oh yeah, I love Carly, or they're like, oh, I hate that freak. I just don't like that they're able to do that at all. And I think there's also the added layer of me being a woman, um, and just the idea of men in particular being able to perceive me makes me uncomfortable. I simply want to exist in the context of myself, which obviously isn't gonna happen, womp womp, but it's still annoying and it still bothers me and affects me. And I think the main reason that I go through that cycle of like not liking myself and being like, oh, like people actually don't like you. Like they're all lying to you. They actually don't like you at all. Like you need to shut up sometimes. Or like, oh, you're ugly. Like don't go outside like you don't like you look ugly. Like you going outside would visually assault other people, you know? So, but I think that the reason that I get into that headspace is simply because like in a general sense, I think I like myself. I don't like myself. Listen, I'm content with myself. In a general sense, if someone would be like, "Oh, do you hate yourself?" I'd be like, "No. No, I don't hate myself. I'm content with what I like with the cards I was given." Okay? I know this is the face I'm going to have. Not going to change it. We're just going to accentuate it with what we've got. Okay? I know that this is like these are the like this is the personality I've been handed and blah blah blah. Like I know like I'm content with that. I acknowledge it and I'm not going to go out of my way to change it. Like I don't want plastic surgery. I'm not going to hide my personality from other people. Like it's just kind of how I am. Like I know that I'm loud and obnoxious and annoying and opinionated, which aren't bad things. They're not bad things, but I understand that they can be a lot for some people, but I also understand that that's who I am, and I'm not going to change that to appease other people. Like obviously I'm well mannered and I'm like I know boundaries, but personality wise, like I know it can be a lot, but I also know that that's my a lot. And the people that I choose to surround myself with should be able to deal with that allotness and they won't even think of it as being a lot. Okay? Like, I'm aware of these things. I'm self-aware, okay? But I think the main reason why sometimes I get in my head and I'm like, oh, your friends all only hang out with you because they feel bad for you, or they only hang out with you because of obligation, like they feel like they have to, or nobody actually likes you, like you are trying to maintain relationships with people that don't like you, and you're being annoying, or like, oh, you talk too much, oh, you're ugly, stuff like that. I think that I get in my head about that because even though I'm content with myself and my perception of myself, other people perceive me differently. And it's with those perceptions that's like, oh, like they don't see what I see, so then maybe I'm wrong about myself. You know? Am I eating? Am I nibbling? I think I'm nibbling. Ooh, I have a hang now. But it's just kind of like, I don't know if that makes sense. Honestly, you could be watching and like trying to, like, with a whiteboard, trying to like pinpoint shit, and I just don't make any sense. But I just feel like in my head, if I'm thinking like, oh wow, like, oh she's so pretty, like from an outsider perspective, if I'm looking at myself, oh she's so pretty, she's so funny, wow, Carly's so nice to be around. But then Susie over here is like, no, she's a bitch and I hate her and she's ugly. In my head, I'm like, oh well, you have that perception of me for a reason, right? Like you have that perception of me, and it's so completely like viscerally different. I was trying to sound smart there for a minute. I feel like I used that wrong. But it's so, like, drastically different from how I view myself that I'm like, oh, maybe I'm wrong about myself. And then that's when I get those thoughts. And recently, I had an event that occurred in my life that also kind of, like, confirmed basically what I was feeling. Because I used to have this really, really bad, like, I wouldn't say intrusive thought because I do have OCD and I actually get intrusive thoughts that are like, whoa, that's kind of, whoa. Not to be like, they tried to lock me in a room. Sorry. I was crazy once. Sorry. I'm resetting. But I still do have these thoughts of like, specifically with like friendships where I'm like, oh, if this person's not reaching out, it's because they hate me. Oh, I reached out 3 times, they didn't reach out, they hate me. Which, like, low key if the shoe fits. But, specifically, I would also have, like, these would be, like, some of my best friends, and they were, like, busy for, like, a week or two. And then I would be, like, I would, like, somehow convince myself that they just hate me and they don't like me. And they're only friends with me because they feel bad for me or because, like, they're worried about my mental health if they weren't friends with me, kind of thing. Um, and they're only friends with me out of obligation. Okay? I've literally like voiced these thoughts to other friends before where I've been like, "Oh, like she hasn't tried to hang out with me in like 4 days and we were hanging out every day like straight. So she must hate me. I just don't think that she values this friendship as much as I do. Like I don't think she likes me as much. When in reality, I do the same shit to other people. You know what I mean? Everybody gets busy, whatever. But my brain like tells me and is like, "Girl, they don't like you. Like they don't want to be friends with you. They're only friends with you because they feel bad or because they feel like obligated to spend time with you." Um, which I used to gaslight myself and be like, "Girl, you're stupid. Girl, that's not true. You know your friends like you. Like why would they be your friends?" You know? And then I got a text in May that changed the trajectory of my life, can I just tell you? Because I am one of those people that will maybe like not hang out or talk to someone for months, but then I'll like reach out and be like, we should totally hang out, blah blah blah, and then we hang out and it's like no time has passed. Okay? I have a lot of friendships that are like that, and I value them deeply. It's just I get sidetracked, people are busy, things happen, okay? But I still like really, really value these people's opinions and these people's friendship and like I genuinely like spending time with them. Okay? So imagine my surprise. Imagine my surprise. Picture this, okay? I'm gonna give people names. So what's a random like Sally, okay? We have Sally, friend number 1, And friend number 2 is gonna be Curtis. Sally and Curtis, okay? So Sally and I became friends in high school. I'm like 2 years out of high school now. Yeah, 2 years out of high school now. So like maybe like 3, 4 years ago we became friends. Yeah, like 4 years ago. That's crazy. And then Curtis and I don't think really became friends until 3 years ago, like senior year of high school. Whereas I think Sally and I became friends junior year of high school. I don't even know when they became friends. I just know that they are friends and that we are friends. But I don't think the three of us have ever actually hung out together, like not even once. But that's just like whatever. But not in like a weird way. Like there's no reason why we haven't all hung out. It just kind of like never happened, I guess. But yeah, so basically also context, I go to school um in British Columbia, but I'm from Ontario. So for Americans, that's the equivalent of me being like, "Oh yeah, um I'm from like Florida, Indiana, New York region, like that whole strip, and I'm going to school in Seattle or like California, like that's like it's like that distance, okay? I don't know why I'm like, okay, planes start landing. This is the lip combo for today, by the way. Summer Fridays, in brown sugar with NYX butter gloss and brownie drip. Get fucked. Anyways, um, so yeah, I go kind of far for school. So like, I try to hang out with all my friends in Ontario while I'm like here, and I don't know. Yeah, so this friend I hung out with Sally maybe twice last summer, and then we were supposed to hang out the week before I left, but she canceled because for some reason, sorry, I don't know. She canceled and then she told me she didn't realize that I was leaving. That was the last time we talked. And then Christmas time I was like, "Oh girl, like let's hang out because I came back home for Christmas." And I was like, "Oh, let's hang out." And she was busy cuz she usually like goes somewhere with her family, I think for Christmas, New Year's time, and I was like, oh, "Okay." And then I was like, "Oh, when are you back?" And she's just generally a bad texter, as am I. But I was like, "Oh, when do you get back?" No response. No response. So we didn't hang out, whatever. I come back home from school in April, like late April, early May, and I'm talking with Trevor. What was the Curtis? And I'm talking with Curtis. Curtis and I are hanging out maybe like 3 times a week. Like every week we're hanging out, like whatever. And then I found out that Curtis was hanging out with Sally. And mind you, I had texted Sally and been like, "Hey, when are we hanging out? When are we hanging out, dude? When are we hanging out?" And Sally was like, "Oh, I'm super busy, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "No, girl, I get it. Me too. Life's crazy. I'm busy. I have 3 jobs, though. So let me know when you're free and we can try to plan." Um, and then Curtis would hang out with her. And so I would constantly keep telling Curtis, like, "Oh, like, how do you really contact her? Like, how do you get in contact with her? Like, I really want to hang out with her. Like, I miss hanging out with her. I miss her. Like, I want to hang out with her, blah, 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 blah." And then Curtis and I went somewhere together. We went to Toronto together, which is like 3 hours, 2.5 hours away from where we live. So we like bused and everything. And on the bus ride there, I was like, "Oh, like, how do you contact Sally?" Because I really want to hang out with her, but she doesn't answer my text. So I'm like, "Do you guys text on Instagram? Because I'm trying iMessage, I'm getting nowhere." And he was like, "No, we like mostly communicate on Snapchat." Mind you, I deleted Snapchat a good 2.5 years ago, maybe. I don't use that app. I think it is for middle schoolers. Shout out all my friends that do. I know a lot of you do. It's not for me. Listen, you're grown. We hit double digits, okay? 20, okay? Double digits, Snapchat's gotta go. Snapchat's gotta go. "Oh, but I keep it for my story." Snapchat's gotta go. "Oh, but I keep it for my Snapchat's gotta go. Wrap it up. Let's go. Wrap it up. Let's go. Actually, number one red flag in a man is if he has like Visco or Snapchat in his Instagram bio. Like that man with a Visco will not provide for you. Okay? That man favoriting your Visco posts. Men used to build houses and go to war. And now they're favoriting your posts on Visco. They won't even repost. They're favoriting that shit. That app is for the girls. And I don't. I'm sorry, I got too um excited. I got too upset. Okay? Visco is not for men. Pack that shit up, okay? And you know what? It's always the men with VSCO that have like 3 posts too. Like, you are a VSCO demon. Like, get out of here. Like, I just know you have 800 women on VSCO that you follow, you favorite all their posts, think you're flirting, think you got game. Get out of here. Get out. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I was like, how do you contact her, whatever? And Curtis was like, oh, usually Snapchat. So I was like, fuck, oh my god, like, don't make me get Snapchat, like, please. So then I sent her another text, okay? Let me find it, actually. So I sent her another text, and I was like, Sally, answer your phone, freak. And I said, do I have to download Snapchat again just to talk to you? With, like, one of those emojis that's like, okay, actually, I don't want to. Oh, this is gonna be mirrored anyways. Okay, well, it's like the little, like that emoji. And I said, don't make me do this. Please, 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 please. That was at 10:20 a.m. And then the next day at 6:48 p.m., I got a text that single-handedly shattered my self-confidence and confidence in any friendship I've ever had ever. And I cried for like 3 weeks over it. Reads as follows. Okay. Haha, no, I won't make you do that. Sorry for the no response. It's just, I'm not sure I want to continue this friendship, as I see myself, viewing making plans as more of a responsibility rather than something I want to do. And then she said some other stuff, like life's been chaotic and it just feels like an extra thing that she has to do and she shouldn't feel that way and I should know that. And then she proceeds to say she doesn't know another way she could say it. Which, I would have rather her told me to kill myself. And listen, you can say that's dramatic. You can say that's dramatic, but this text single-handedly has confirmed every single like bad thought in my brain like in viewing friendships. And like, mind you, like, obviously she doesn't know that, okay? I'm not gonna blame her for that. And obviously she's just trying to keep it real. But if I'm being real, you could have just said you didn't want to be my friend. You telling me that hanging out with me, and not even hanging out with me, viewing, like, the thought of hanging out with me and trying to make plans feels like a chore is probably top 5 one of the worst things you could have said to me. Oh my god. And like, I get it. Again, I get it. She didn't know that. She couldn't have known that. But it's still overall kind of mean. I'm very happy that she was transparent with me and didn't, like, I don't want to say lead me on, because, whoa. But, like, I'm just glad that she didn't, like, wait the whole summer to say it. Like, I'm glad that she said it now, so then I can be like, okay, I'm not putting my time and energy into this, whatever. But, so I am, like, grateful for that. Super nice. But I was also very confused because, like, 2 days prior, she was, like, commenting on a new Instagram post that I had and, like, being super nice. Which, like, not that she's not nice. Okay, I'm not saying that. But I'm just, like, it felt very out of left field for me, I guess. And I was just, like, so, like, it actually fucked with me so bad. And so her saying that and being like, oh, like, and sorry, the reason I even brought up Curtis is because I was making the point of, like, I'm just, on top of it being, like, so, like, heartbreaking for me because I really, really valued our friendship. Not to say she didn't value the friendship, but I also would have liked in the text for her to have been like, hey, like, life's chaotic right now. Like, I'm sorry, I don't have time, and I'm sorry we can't be friends anymore. But I would have loved for her to say that and then also been like, but I really enjoyed our friendship. Thanks. That would have been some sort of acknowledgement. I didn't respond to that text. I left her on read because, in my opinion, me saying something isn't gonna do fuck all. I would rather just sit in my bed and cry for days on end, which is exactly what I did. And, you know, some may say, girl, she don't give a fuck about you and your friendship. Some may be right. Oh, that was my dog, if you heard that. Some may be right, but alas, I will never apologize for valuing people and their time and their energy. So, get fucked. don't, listen, don't hate on me. But, and also, like, again, like, I obviously don't know what's going through her head. I don't know if this is, like, something that she had, like, had to bring herself to do, or, like, if it was, like, hard for her at all. Like, I'm not gonna speak on that, but I'm only bringing it up because it really, really relates to the topic at hand here, okay? Which is that, um, I don't like myself because of the perceptions other people have of me. And now, whoa. And now that she said that like hanging out with me kind of feels like a chore, or like making plans with me feels like a chore, rather than something that she wants to do, it's something that I'm now projecting onto all my other, like friendships, kind of. And like, I know I shouldn't, but I just am. Because I already had those negative thoughts of being like, oh, like, they're only friends with me out of obligation, oh, they don't actually like me, blah, 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 blah. And then I would gaslight myself and be like, girl, we know that's not true. But now, girl, we know that is true. Because it was true with Sally. So it's gonna be true with everything else. You know what I mean? I, like, that's how my brain is, like, doing it now. And that's what my brain is telling me is, like, well, obviously, if it was right for her, it's probably right for other people. And especially me, because I have so many friends that are like that, where I won't see them for a little bit and then we'll hang out and it's like no time has passed. Now I'm like terrified to try to make plans with someone because I'm scared I'm gonna try to make plans and then I'll get that text being like, hey, I don't fucking like you. Stop trying to hang out with me. I don't like you. Um, and like that's like scary. Like it is. Like, listen, I'm a baddie and I know it and I have baddie friends, but like that's scary, and that's like okay to admit. Like that's like a scary thing that is very much a possibility now, and I know that, and that's what makes it so much scarier. And it's like I have not hung out with Curtis since I have received that text. And it's because I felt so much like shame and embarrassment because every time I would hang out with him, I would mention Sally and be like, "Oh, like we should all hang out. Oh, you know what? I really like I miss Sally. I want to hang out with Sally. Oh, like how do you contact Sally?" And so Curtis told me like he didn't know anything about her feeling this way, which I totally believe, but and I know that he doesn't see me as like pathetic or anything, but it's just my brain is like so like embarrassed to face him that I'm like, "Oh, like I don't know. I don't even know. But I did tell him this. I told him I was like, I'm sorry, like I'm just having a really hard time. I don't think I'll be able to like face you or talk to you for a little because like obviously we text and stuff, but like I have not hung out with him, and I was hanging out with him like every week, like multiple times a week before, and I just like haven't been able to bring myself to make plans or anything because I feel so embarrassed and like full of like crippling mortification and shame. Um and it just yeah. It just yeah. And I don't think that that's going to go away anytime soon, which sucks. It does suck cuz you know, things happen, but I don't know. Trying to make plans with Curtis. I tried yesterday, but he was busy today. I still do definitely feel that kind of shame and embarrassment, but I know that I'm going to have to get over it eventually. I think it's also worse because she keeps posting on Instagram, and Curtis keeps commenting on all her posts, which, like, valid, like, you guys are friends, obviously that's gonna happen, but I'm just like, oh my god, I'm so embarrassed, because, like, oh my god, like, I used to comment on her posts, and she didn't even want to be friends with me the whole time, like, you know what I mean, like, that's just kind of what I, like, interpret it as, but, yeah, so, overall, I do think I like myself, and I'm very content with myself, but it's just like the fact that other people can perceive me and have different perceptions of me than I have of myself that make me uncomfortable and make me second guess basically myself and my likability and my like attributes of myself that I think are very integral to me. Like I would say I try to be kind, but then I'm like, well, other people think of me as like this monster. So like what did I do to them for them to perceive me that way? Like maybe I'm not how I view myself. I like to think that I'm fun to be around, and then I get a text saying that hanging out with me feels like a chore, and then I'm like, oh, maybe I'm not. maybe I'm too loud, maybe I'm too annoying, maybe I am too opinionated, maybe all these things that I was taking before as being like okay things are not okay. Maybe they're bad. Maybe they make me like insufferable to be around. And it's so frustrating like having that like back and forth in my brain of like telling myself that and then like being like, no, it's not true, when like it is true, but it's not, but it is. And it's just so like unbelievably frustrating. And I do know I have like real friends, okay? Like I know, and I know a lot of, probably the only people watching this are my real friends, but it's just, I thought she was a real friend. Not to say she wasn't, like she definitely was while we were friends, but like I'm just saying that like I felt very secure in that friendship, and then she said that hanging out with me feels like a chore, which again, commend her honesty, but it's just kind of ruined my perception of myself, I guess. And that's to put it all on her, in case she somehow finds this. Please, girl, love you, lots of love for you. Otherwise, I would have unfollowed you on Instagram and left you as a follower, because that's what I do. Because I'm petty. I don't care. Um, it's just kind of me thinking out loud here is kind of the whole purpose of me doing this. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. And it's like not only is that kind of an aspect, but I would also say that like another reason why like I have this thing where I view myself as romantically unlovable, if we're putting it out there. If we're putting it out there. And I'm sure a lot of you do too, because I know a lot of my friends are similar to me in the sense of like, I mean, then who's going to be cleaning your toilets, Donald Trump? Oh, that's not. No, no, I mean like, in the sense that, you know, I would never. Okay, Kelly Osbourne. Anyways, in the sense of like, I haven't had romantic experiences, like, plentiful. And like, I know a lot of my friends are the same way. And it's just kind of like, I feel like I can't, like, that's just, people don't like me like that. Which is fine. It's not. And it's probably untrue. But the stats, the statistics, the proof is in the pudding, my friend. Um, and if we're being real, the only person that's ever had a crush on me basically like stalked me online for like a year. So, but God, let's hope he doesn't fucking find this. Jesus Christ. But I like um I think that that also definitely has like a weighing down on my perception of myself, because like when I look at myself, I'm like, "Oh, like I don't know, maybe this is also me being like selfish or like full of myself, but like I'll also do some stuff and I'll be like, "Wow, like I would really like if someone did that for me." I would really like if someone like thought was that thoughtful towards me. And then I'm like, "Oh, like I deserve that. Like why wouldn't somebody love this about me? Why wouldn't somebody think this is super cute, like a thing that I do? Why wouldn't somebody blah 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 blah?" But they don't. And it they don't. And yeah, like platonically, I have a lot of love and I'm very grateful for that. And it's not to say that I would trade that for anything, because I wouldn't. My friends are literally everything to me, but it does definitely change my perception of myself when I look around at all my peers and I'm like, I thought that we were very similar, and but you get bitches and I don't. Like what? Like not even, but it's just like, yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I'm probably just wrong about everything, and this is just me explaining my thought process, because this is what constantly goes on in my brain. So, welcome to Inside Out Carly version. There's not emotions, there's just insanity. Actually, does that count as an emotion? Maybe. But, yeah. Yeah. So, moral of the story, I'm content with myself. You should be content with yourself. Even if you don't like yourself, you really need to work on just being like, this is the shit that I got, and I'm gonna work it while I got it, because what the fuck else are you gonna do? What else are you going to do? Hmm? Um, But it is just the fact that other people can have this concept of me or this idea of me, this perception of me that is so different than what I have of myself that makes me second guess myself. Because you got that perception from somewhere. You did. You got that idea of me from somewhere based on something that I did or something that I said or how I acted. So, where did you get that from? Cuz if you view me like that, why don't I view myself? Like, why am I not self-aware of you viewing me like that? Like, if someone were to think of me as like a horrible person, egotistical, ugly, dumb, annoying, why do I look at myself in the mirror and not see that? Like, what does that just mean that I'm like a narcissist or what? But then sometimes I will look at myself in the mirror and be like, you know what, they're right. You know what? Oh, streets are calling, streets are saying, oh, they're right, you're ugly, dumb, and egotistical. Yeah, yeah. But the streets are wrong sometimes, guys. The streets are wrong sometimes. Yeah. I don't know, I guess another thing about like my insecurity with my friendships now is not only that text, because whoa, has it done wonders for my psyche, but also I'm going on exchange, like a year abroad in a different country for school. And I'm in university, I'm in a 4 year program, I'm going into my third year, and this is the year that I'm going to be abroad. And it's just kind of a lot because in my first year, I made a lot of friends that I really, really cherished, and then none of them were friends with me in second year. So then I kind of had those thoughts of why didn't they want to continue being my friends? What happened? What is wrong with me as to why these people don't want to be my friends? Obviously, I did something. Um, that I've kind of settled with. We're living with it. I'm never gonna know, and that's whatever. I've come to terms with that. But in my second year, luckily, I've made some very, very good friends, or like I've built upon like acquaintances or like early friendships from first year, and I feel so like grateful to have these people in my lives. Um, that I'm terrified that when I go away for a year, they are going to live on with their lives as one does, and then meet new people and have new experiences to the point that when I come back from my exchange, these people won't have room for me in their lives. Like, yeah. Damn, this episode's a real Debbie Downer. That's crazy. I miss when I was talking about the cave in my tooth. Still haven't gotten that fixed, by the way. But, it's been good 8 months. Oopsies. But I'm scared they won't have room for me in their lives anymore because I'm someone who very much makes the effort to constantly keep people in my life. Not to say that there aren't times where that doesn't go according to plan because it's definitely happened. I've definitely let some stuff slip my mind, but I just think I'm overly hyper aware about it. So the fear that other people won't have enough time in their lives to spend time with me and get to know me again and just hang out with me and enjoy my time is very scary, especially when these are people that I consider to be like best friends. These are people that I consider to be like the only reason I got through my second year. Um and it's scary because you also have me voicing this and my friends being like that's not going to happen. That's not the case. But I also had this fear going into second year, and all my friends that aren't friends with me anymore would constantly be like, "Oh, like don't like we'll still be friends. We'll still be friends in second year. Like don't think like that. Like we'll still be friends." Who was right again, bitch? Me? That's crazy. Who's always right? Ooh, who's got two thumbs and it's always Miss Right? Ooh, okay. So it's just kind of like scary. I genuinely don't have another word for it other than like horrifying. Like I'm really hoping. I'm really hoping for my sake, for my sanity, that I'm still friends with these people and that they still value my time, and that when I come back after a year, they don't view hanging out with me as a chore. Because as it comes down to it, that is now at the forefront of my brain. My frontal lobe is developing around that text. Um, and yeah, like, it's not that deep. Yeah, she was honest. Yeah, at least you know. But at least I wish I fucking didn't, you know? Um, yeah. I also just, like, don't, I have a really hard time with letting things go. Um, like, it's always, I, I'm just, I don't get over anything ever, like, it's just, it's not happening, but, I don't know. I hope the future is kinder to me in terms of my friendships, because I seriously can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. Like, y'all get this. I, had, like, a friend group. It was 4 of us. And then it was, like, low-key end of first year, start of second year, because all of first year I knew 2 of them, and we were, like, a trio. And then the 4th one came in, loved her. And then we were friends. We hung out all of January, basically. Not January, all of, like, September, like, when we came back for school. And then January, or October rolls around. October is a Canadian Thanksgiving, right? I think so. October rolls around, and it's Thanksgiving. Mind you, also, none of these people were Canadian, okay? All 3 of them were not Canadian. Hello. But all 3 of them, mind you, they don't live together, start posting during Thanksgiving pictures of one another, and they're all at each other's house with a guy that one of the girls is also talking to, posting shit being like, Friendsgiving. Eater. Friendsgiving. Eater. Friendsgiving. And I'm looking around. Oh, where's the white girl? Where's the 5'7" white indigenous girl? With the blue, I had blue hair at the time, with the blue hair. I'm not seeing her in those pictures. I'm not seeing her there. That's crazy. Where is she? Where is she, though? So, I get on my phone, do a little texty text. Oh, where was my invite? Because I'm just so funny like that. Where was my invite? Oh, must have got lost in the mail, because where was it? And then I get a text back going, haha, it was super last minute. Last minute, but none of you live together? Last minute, but y'all cooked like a meal? Last minute, but you invited your soon-to-be boyfriend? Oh, oh, okay. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, no, super last minute. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And then I get a little phone call, like 2 days later, and it's like, oh, hey, do you want to get lunch tomorrow? You know what I say? No. You know what I did? I went, no. She goes, oh, why? And I was like, well, I'm still really hurt that y'all didn't invite me to your Friendsgiving, the fuck? And then they were just talking, oh, it was really last minute, blah, 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 and I was like, yeah, okay, well, womp womp. And then they all apologized to me, and it was really nice. You know, I actually felt like they felt bad, but again, y'all didn't think of me like that. Y'all invited all 3 of the people in the friend group. Sorry, 3 to 4 of the people in the friend group and just forgot one person. Like, if it was, like, me and another person that they forgot, I'd be like, okay, we're in this together. It was just me that they forgot. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that was kind of shitty of you. That was very, like, high school of you. Like, this is so weird. Like, why would y'all do that? Like, that's crazy. Even if you thought I couldn't come, y'all weren't gonna invite me? Y'all weren't gonna extend the invite? Like, what the hell? Yeah. And then we just kind of, like, semi-made up because the next week was one of their birthdays and we all went out. And I put that shit behind me and I acted normal. And then we've just never hung out since because I didn't think the ball was in my court, per se. So, yeah, so, let's hope to God there are better friendships in my future because, goddamn, I don't think I can take it. And, like, I like to think I'm a pretty good judge of character. So I'm like, where the fuck am I finding these people, bro? Like, I can't do it. I actually can't do it. Where am I finding these people? You know, it's fine. We move. I like to think that people are a part of my life for a reason. Whether that be to humble me horribly or to show me what friendship really is. Yet to see, but a little bit of both. A little bit of a mixed bag, some may say. But, yeah, I guess honestly that's all I want to talk about for this podcast. I don't know, I feel like that was a lot. Moral of the story, you're a baddie. Don't, your perception of yourself is definitely right. Unless you're a narcissist, then it's not right. So, your perception of yourself is maybe a little bit right. It's a little bit correct. Just a smidge, though. Not too much. Unless you're also really insecure, then it's not, moral of the story, you're a baddie. Unless you're a shitty person, then you're not a baddie, okay? In the world, there are baddies and not baddies. I feel like semi-baddies don't really exist. We would have to coin a new term for them. Like, I don't even, like, freak. Somebody gonna match my freak? Somebody gonna match my nasty? But, yeah, yeah, y'all. We'll see if I actually end up posting this, because I've low-key filmed, like, 7 episodes and just have not uploaded any of them. Because, okay, actually, I'm sitting it back down. I also have a chronic fear of posting. I have a chronic fear of posting stuff online that involves me talking, because I'm very, very scared that I somehow said something wrong. Like, I'm actually really scared to upload this, because I'm like, oh, what if I'm in the wrong? Or what if, like, I don't know. I'm scared. It's not that I'm scared of criticism. I'm scared of, like, hate. Like, I'm scared of, like, hate comments and people being like, not that people are gonna fucking care. This is gonna get approximately 7 views from all people on my close friend story on Instagram. But it's still, like, I don't know what I'm so scared about. I'm just, like, or I'm scared that, like, I offended somebody and I won't know and I'll be, like, ignorant to that. And then I have to, like, I don't know, like, well, obviously I would apologize, but, like, I'm just scared that, like, I'm gonna be ignorant. I'm really, really scared of ignorance, and I try really hard to avoid being ignorant, but I feel like it's inevitable. Like, everybody's ignorant in something, and I'm just scared that I said something wrong and that I hurt someone's feelings, or that I was very, like, insensitive to a topic or something like that, when in reality I'm talking about my self-perception today. And, like, in another episode I was like, dude, I was talking about the editing community and how I wish that Instagram edits were back, because Instagram edits and transition edits are actual edits, and the new wave of TikTok just putting clips and syncing them up to a song doesn't count. Yet somehow I'm still in my head being like, you can't upload that. You can't post that, girl. You can't keep that in the draft. You can't post that. Keep that in the files. You can't post that. Yes, you can. It's not that deep. Nobody's even gonna see it. Literally, nobody's gonna see it. Nobody's gonna see it. Anyways. So, alas, we'll see if I upload this. If I do, I'll probably end up taking it down. But as long as it is up, peace out, Girl Scouts. I'll see you on the next one, I guess. We'll see if this worked. Woo! Anyways, yeah. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Peace out, Girl Scouts.